And welcome to part one of Stuart Show's Office Garden. Today we'll be looking at a few of my favorite plants. I have been growing these for quite some time. I think my oldest ones are, well, I'll get into that, but definitely some pretty awesome ones. I tend to specialize in the unusual and the bizarre, mainly succulents, but a few oddballs of other varieties found in there. The constant noises from the fountain, which is kind of relaxing in its own way. Hopefully it won't interfere too much with the voice though. This is about take 5, so hopefully it will be less embarrassing than the other takes. So far I'm optimistic. Anyway, it's in a courtyard. It's a nice little courtyard. Let's get to it. I figure we can start with my oldest plant. Well, one of my oldest plants. I'm fairly certain this is my oldest one. Bought it from an Ace Hardware over 2 decades ago. It's pretty good size. Let's see. It's known as a Pachypodium, specifically Pachypodium saundersii. It has a little bit of scarring when I first bought it. Most of it's healed over, but still a little bit remaining. I usually keep it around the back of it. I keep it trimmed back really regularly. And it's nice and bushy. It has little flowers forming. They'll open to have like a pinkish white flower. It's tubular. It's kind of like an oleander. Top. But you can kind of see the size and scale. I mean, the hand there as comparison. It's one of my larger ones. I also have a smaller one of the same species. It might be a somewhat different variety. I've seen this one labeled as compacta. As you can see, it is a more compact variety. Or at least it's trying to be more compact in comparison. But both of them I keep trimmed regularly. They just have a sticky white sap that's fairly toxic from what I gather. So definitely have to wash my hands afterwards. Here's a few more of mine. The cactus in the foreground here is known as the totem pole cactus, Laphocereus Shotii monstrosa. It's a spineless variety. Well, it has little tiny spines with the white dots on it, but they're not actually spines. They're just like remnants. The original variety that spawned this one originally did have pretty nice spines, but it seems to grow pretty rapidly for me. And I take these are from cuttings. I have 2 pots of them. They're nice. They usually get scarred on the lower part of it, but the top part's always nice and green and weird looking. The one behind it's a pregnant onion. Has little baby plants on the sides. It's a really cool little plant. The skin splits open and spits out little baby plants, and it has a white spike of flowers. Ornithicum caudatum is the scientific name. This one is a euphorbia. It's a dead stick plant is the common name for it, and you can kind of see why. It is actually alive, but it looks like dead sticks. It has kind of a greenish purple cast to it. In brighter sun, they probably would have a little more of a reddishness to them. It's a pretty cool plant. It's different. It has little tiny flowers at the very top occasionally, but not right now. This is a it's a climbing onion. It's grown significantly this year. I got it as a gift last year from Laura. But it comes down with a flower stalk that's kind of its equivalent of leaves, basically. It has a single leaf at top, but it doesn't really do much. The most foliage it tends to have is which again is not in the right season for it, so it's kind of dried up at the tips, but you need to look up how to exactly trim this one, whether it can be all trimmed off and come out with a new one or what. More dead stick plants. Start new ones of those. This is another euphorbia. It's Euphorbia francoisii. It's a nice little tuberous type. Really pretty leaves. nice veininess to them. Usually, quite often, they can be very variable. Like this is another species of it, another variety of it. They tend a lot to have like a lot of reddish maroon cast to it. Really cool. This is what's known as the Kalanchoe gastronus benarii. Or benari? Benarii, I'm not sure which. It's a pretty cool plant. It's a Kalanchoe. It's a jade plant family, basically. Not family, but genus. No family. It's nice. It gets pretty good size. I got some of these like way back when, and I think I gave them all away. And I recently got this one from Laura's aunt. So, little pink roots, very tips. The base leaves, base of the plantlets. I can start new ones from these little plantlets. I need to do that probably. This is a type of devil's backbone. A very kind of ferny look to it, but it's actually in the poinsettia family. Cool little plant. And here we have my awajas. This one's an awaja motagnacii. It's kind of an interesting little plant. It's very spiny. It's distantly related to cacti, but they are native to Madagascar. Form huge thickets there. You have another Kalanchoe in the bottom. It's a really cool plant. This is my favorite of the genus. Awaja motagnacii, and this one's an Awaja humbertii. It's related, but it's a lot thinner leafed. No, sparser leafed. One neat thing about it is the new leaves that come out are all turned horizontally, then they shed off each year, and the old one and the new ones come in vertical. So ones after that, vertically. You can always tell when the new growth is. This is my third species. It's Awaja dumosa. It's nearly leafless. It has a few little remnant leaves at the very tips of new growth, but they shed really quickly. See a few right there. It's a cool plant. I had it all tangled in like a brain-like mass, but I didn't really like the look of it, so I untangled it. My hands were all cut up for a few days afterwards. This is a species of Kalanchoe known as a life plant. As you can see, it's related to the gastronus benarii I showed you a couple minutes ago. It has tons of little babies on the sides. I got this from my grandmother's neighbor up in Georgia. Really fascinating little plant. It tends to get really invasive though, so I have to keep a close eye on it. But tons of little baby plants. This plant is known as a Bombax ellipticum, a shaving brush tree. There's a few other plants with the same name, but usually this one's the one I always call that. It's a huge trunk to it. I keep mine in containers so they won't grow as big as they would normally. I bought this near this size, by the way, so don't be too impressed with my gardening of it, but it hasn't grown a lot width-wise, but the stems are pretty rapid growing once they get going. I think this year I'll probably have a lot better luck with it since I changed the soil. Well, not that I've never potted it before, but this is another one. I have two of them. This is the leaves. They're a bit large and wieldy, but they're nice. This is the Queensland bottle tree. I've had really good luck growing these from seeds in the past, but I haven't bought any seeds from them recently. I actually planted one near the beach. I have no idea if it survived at this point or not, but it was a pretty nice little tree. You can tell it has a thick gnarled root to it. In the wild, it gets a really huge trunk to it. It looks just like a bottle coming up, and it tapers to a thinner stems. I think that's a pretty good stopping point for part one. We'll go into part two, where I deal with some of my other favorites. Until then, take care.